along with Darth Tyler. Pretty excited about last night, huh?
It was awesome.
It was pretty great to actually. We have somebody switching on the TriCaster, yeah. So when Tyler talks, we can check out him. Pretty great audience at the Open Angel Forum for the first one, and now we're off to the races.
Yeah.
I thought it would be good to do a show with some of the people who presented last night.
Right.
Keiretsu Forum, they don't tell you what goes on. It's shrouded in mystery. The entrepreneurs don't get to know who's in the audience.
Yep.
You don't know what's going on there. They put all this mystery around.
They never really announced who was in it.
They never announced who's in it. I'm proud of the people who are in it.
Right. On both sides.
On both sides. And I'm more than willing to let them tell their side of the story, how it went, what happened.
You must be up to no good.
If I'm being transparent. Yes, absolutely. Somebody just asked, is the Open Angel Forum only open to investors? Somebody asked that in the chat room. Yes. So let me explain. I gave last night a little preamble to both the entrepreneurs and the angel investors as to why we were doing this. We should have taped it, but screw it, we didn't. Why was this created, and why are we doing it? A couple of basic rules. The Open Angel Forum is a forum to help entrepreneurs raise angel funds. Let me say that again. The Open Angel Forum is a forum to help entrepreneurs raise angel investment. Nowhere in that sentence did I say Open Angel Forum is a technology event for everybody, nor did I say Open Angel event is an event open to lawyers, accountants, the press, other entrepreneurs. I didn't say it's a 1,000-person meetup. I didn't say it's TechCrunch 50, which is open to everybody. Anybody can buy a ticket, and there's thousands of people, and companies launch. No, it is a very specific and niche event. And I didn't say it's open to every angel. Did I say any of those things?
I think they're confused because the title says Open Angel. Maybe they're assuming
all right, so it is now the
come.
Closed Angel Forum. No. What I meant by Open Angel Forum was that the entrepreneurs didn't need to pay, and that the angel investors are going to be open with the entrepreneurs. That's what I meant by it.
And transparently
And
open.
transparent. The whole thing is transparent, et cetera. So entrepreneurs at the event came up, and they said, hello, my name is Jason Calacanis. I am raising money for a company called Mahalo, which is 6 months old. I am looking to raise X amount of money at X valuation. And I have already raised this much of the raise. So for example, I might say, I am Jason. I am looking to raise $500,000 in seed investment on a $1.5 million pre-money valuation, which is a $2 million post-money valuation. So for $500,000, 25% of the company, and we've already raised $300,000 of it. Or we're raising $400,000 on a convertible note, which has a maximum valuation of $2.5 million. We had the entrepreneurs actually say that first. So when they came out there, it was very clear that they were raising money. This is not an event where you go present to get press for your product and to debut it to the world. That's what TechCrunch 50 is. We already have that event. This is an event where you are taking a product that's either made in the market, not in the market, going to be made in beta, and you raise money for it. Nobody's going to know that you were at the Open Angel Forum as an entrepreneur unless you yourself disclose that. I left it up to the entrepreneurs. If they wanted to disclose, they were at the event. And all 5 of them said they did, so that's up to them. But in future ones, that's what it be. Now, who's in the audience? The only people allowed to be in the audience are angel investors who have invested in 3-4 deals in the last year or two. This disqualifies 80% of people who come to these other events who maybe have invested one time $10,000 in a company in 1999, the dentist, the guy who owns an auto mechanic shop, the guy who is a banker or a lawyer who took some stock options in a company who he was the lawyer for, or she was the lawyer for, or the headhunter who complains about this, that, and the other thing, and whatever. Anyway, just high-quality angels. We said no to a lot of people. Some of those people were bad-mouthing me on Twitter, you may have seen. To those people, I say, if you don't like the way I do business, create your own Open Angel Forum and do it better. That's what I did. You can do it too. Nobody's stopping you from creating your own version of this. Call it the D-Bag Open Angel Forum or whatever you want to call it. But don't tell me how to run mine, okay? I don't need the advice. I didn't ask for the advice, nor should you be giving me advice. You're not qualified to give me advice if your website looks like it's from 1998. There's a total aside, though. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Do you know that guy?
I don't.
It's unbelievable that somebody would write a tweet to me
Yeah.
an hour before the event.
Well, it was interesting. I think this is worth delving into, because his initial point was that the Open Angel Forum is DOA.
He said to me,
Yes.
the Open Angel Forum is DOA, dead on arrival, an hour before the event started.
Right. But he feels like he's speaking from experience.
Right.
Right. And I think given the models that people have tried to do this in the past, he has a point.
Okay.
Having not, but I think this is.
I'm gonna give you some range here because
Yeah.
you're Tyler, but you
Right.
better wind up in the right place.
Well, no. Yeah, it's very clear that this model where you're
Right.
not trying to juice an entrepreneur.
Right.
If you are
Yes,
trying
I
to,
get your point.
Yeah, if you're trying to charge, if you're trying to build this as a business for yourself on the
Right.
backs of the entrepreneurs, it is DOA.
Yes, I agree.
At the right
It's
model.
either DOA or on life support.
Right. And you're going to have to try and hide something and do the 3-card Monty and where
Yeah.
the costs were this and I didn't.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
Yeah,
and-
that whole rigmarole.
yeah.
And the truth be told, the entrepreneurs now, and here's the interesting thing: if you pay as an entrepreneur, you kind of expect something,
Yeah.
right? Every entrepreneur that came did have some expectations, but everyone comes with a graciousness and a humbleness. They're here.
They were happy to be there.
They were there on their own merits.
They knew they got in based on merit.
Yes.
Therefore, they could be cool.
Yes. And it changes the dynamic completely.
Right. They're not like, oh my God,
Now
I
watch-
have to raise money or
Watch
else I
this.
wasted
If-
$5,000.
Right. If you're charging the entrepreneurs and you have these angels who show up who are not paying anything, the angels show up and it's more of a network event for them, as we were
Right.
talking with Brad.
Their life is not on the line.
Right. In this
No
case,
skin in the game.
right. No skin in the game at all. Don't necessarily, this, the hobbyist angels, whatever.
Yeah.
The angels that showed up to this, they were intensely focused on the angels because they were there on merit,
Right.
not because they had paid.
The angels were selected based on merit as well.
So the dynamic is completely changed.
Absolutely.
The
Topsy-turvy.
Yes, the presenting companies are, not expecting the angels have to act in a certain, it makes everything balanced the way it should be. It's like Japanese gardening or something. You get the
Yeah,
right.
that's what I was going to say.
It's a bonsai tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically a bonsai tree. Everything is at peace and one with the universe.
Yeah.
So anyway, the event was a tremendous success, but I don't want to get too much into the details of it. What I will say is, to the people who did Keiretsu Forum and these other things, you had your chance. I gave you fair warning. You did not comply with the requests, and therefore you suffer the consequences. We are going to put you out of business. We announced today a second city, Colorado. We announced that the founders of Techstars are going to host it, one of which is Brad Felds, the other one David Cohen, who was there last night. These are killers. You have no event anymore in Colorado. You folded the Keiretsu Forum in Colorado like the dogs you are. You laid down like the dogs you are, and then we have marched into your town, and we now have the two most sought-after people in your town running the Open Angel Forum. We will do this in all 20 cities you are in until you capitulate and you bow down before Zod. Name the movie reference. Superman 2.
Oh, jeez.
Bring me the son of Jor-El. Bow down before Zod. That was my favorite. Anyway, no, listen. You guys knew you were wrong. You had a nice long run. You got away with it for 10 years. You made $1 million a year for 10 years. It's over. It's over. Like a tauntaun on Hoth, you will be gutted. Like a tauntaun on Hoth. There's a Tyler.
I was about to say you're stealing my line.
I'm saying that Tyler told me that when we were in break. But like a tauntaun on Hoth, we have eviscerated you. It is over. Dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. I just love competition. Don't you?
I don't think they realized how well they were playing into. And thank God that they played.
They're so
right.
stupid?
Oh man.
I told Tyler.
The guy had not done his homework on JCal because
No.
he literally was pushing
No.
all the wrong buttons.
Where's my AK-47? I need more weapons in the studio. No, I love competition. I'm having good fun with the Keiretsu losers. I'm making a little bit of a show of it.
Sure.
Obviously, I'm being a little dramatic. But the fact is, this is what entrepreneurship is all about. Creating a better model, making better products and services, making better businesses, making yourself better. So to the tauntauns at Keiretsu Forum who now have their guts spilled all over the icy tundra of Hoth, revel in your death, knowing that we will sleep in your warm carcasses.
And on that note, that's a perfect segue.
Perfect segue to my first guest, Eric. Now, I'm going to try this because you're French. Well, you're actually from Denmark, but you're French. Eric Lachier. Try it one. Eric
Lachier.
Lachier. Eric Lachier. Ah, c'est bon.
Excellent. Excellent.
Lachier, c'est bon. You are, of course, the CEO and co-founder of Tiger Tag with an old friend of mine, Alberto, who was from the Weblogs Inc. days. You were one of the 110 people who applied to the show. You got in. I want to hear the whole experience from you about the Open Angel Forum, and then we're going to talk about your company. When did you hear about Open Angel Forum? When did you apply? What was the application process like? Take us through that. Why did you apply? What was it like to apply?
So basically, I think it was just before Christmas, Alberto, he pinged me and said, we have an opportunity. There's this new thing called Open Angel Forum, and where we have a chance to go and pitch to some angels. I discussed it with him. I said, well, what is that Open Angel Forum? What's the credentials? Is there any history, track record? Are we just making a fool out of ourselves? Is it like many others have said, yeah, if you pay a small dime, then we'll introduce you to some angels, and like we'll only take 2% of your company and all of that. And at the end of the day, you wake up and being screwed, right? So here actually was the philosophy of this sounded right, with the innovator, the initiator being you, Jason, with a great track record and with a great following base that allows us, well, for all else equal, it gives us a chance to get out there, get the message out about what we're all about.
Yeah.
And then...
so even if it's not great angels, at least it's not going to be a total waste of time.
Exactly, right?
So that was your premise.
Exactly, that was our premise. And then what was the requirements? It was very, very simple. It was a web-based form that we had to fill out. Very, very short comments about the company, where we were, what stage, what we were looking for at funding. And then basically a short 5-minute video pitch that we did. I filmed using my MacBook and just like got it out there.
How long did it take to fill out the form?
Fill out the form probably 25 minutes, half an hour.
Half an hour.
That's exactly the aim.
Aim is half an hour.
And with my spelling mistakes and Alberto correcting that and all of that, so we got that sorted out. And then
spelling doesn't count for us. The idea is what counts.
And then the video was also very, very to the point, because basically we know what our company is and pitch it, so it's a matter to just film it and get it out there. So that was a good exercise, and then of course also submitting a small PowerPoint of the company, so you have some background. And then it was just leaning back and waiting and seeing what came out of that. And then it was just early January where we got feedback that we were on the short list, right? So apparently we'd done something right, and let's see if we could get it to the next level. And where we then had a call with you, Tyler, and you, Jason, and allowing us to put a words and a face to what we were all about. And that took maybe half an hour or so, and was a good actually preamble and a good practice for us to get our act together in preparation for the actual forum.
Right.
And then it was just to get here, and
now that you were accepted.
Yes.
So you're pretty excited about that.
Absolutely.
You decide you're going to fly all the way to Los Angeles for it.
Yes.
There's some expense in that, time and money.
Yes.
So it's costing you a couple $100s to get here and put yourself up, and it's costing you 2 days of your life, 3 days of your life. You decide to do it.
Yes.
And take us through what last night was like.
Yeah. So I think one of the first things that was great is that this was actually at one of the Angel's own premise, the domicile. So it was not.
You could call it that.
You could call it a home. Some people might call it a mansion. Right? Was that one of the Angels' houses? Which this house could be construed as a castle in addition to being a house.
A domicile.
Yeah, I think I was looking for the helicopter pad, but that was probably the only thing missing on that one.
It was a pretty amazing house.
Yeah, and but already that sets the scene, compared to otherwise you might have ended up in a like boring convention center at a hotel or whatever.
Yes.
Like this was like much more personal,
Intimate.
intimate, right? And then also the fact that we were only 5 startups there, right? That already had been through a selection process and not like a whole caravan of startups, but
Right.
we were there and being greeted by you, Jason, and pitched about what this was all about. And then taking to this patio where there was all these angels sitting. And, you know, first when you, like, honestly, it was like, I thought, yeah, an angel investor, what's the background and so on. But then when I heard about the filtering process also for the angels.
Yes.
You know,
Perhaps as much scrutiny on the angels
Yes.
as on the entrepreneurs. We
Right.
had almost as many angels asked to come and told almost as many they couldn't as we did entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and then what I really impressed about was I was fortunate to overhear a little bit when they were presenting who they were.
Yeah.
And of course, a huge track record, but also many with scars, right?
Yeah.
So they had their own experience of doing startups.
Right.
And that's the type of folks I would like to have as angel investors.
Yes.
Not those who just made a ton of money on Wall Street and said, yeah, here's a buck, go
You're
play,
not interested
right?
in a dentist investing in
No,
your company.
exactly, right? I want somebody that actually can guide me and mentor me and help
Sure.
me, right? So the money is one thing, but the intellectual property that can come into it is much more worth it. And there were some, like, they're all high caliber, great people that with a lot of experience.
On that premise alone, kind of makes it a completely unfair competition in this, I think. Just the caliber of the angels. And it's exactly right. Money, as some people come to find out, there's all kinds of money out there.
Right.
But it's that really smart, engaged, bread-filled, excited, former entrepreneur experience that, is worth more than the money itself.
Yeah.
Of course. And so you get in there and you're introduced.
Yes.
You're given a beer.
Yes, which was good, and then it was basically a 5-minute demo of Tiger Tag, and then afterwards a pitch around Tiger Tag, and then Q&A. And actually, it was about to wrap up as quickly as possible, so there was enough time for Q&A because I think that's the interaction with the angel is where you really get the best out of this.
So
right?
at the end, all the entrepreneurs came out and got to hang out on the patio eating
Exactly.
Kobe burgers and drinking some
Not bad,
beers and
yeah.
having some ahi tuna seared
Yes.
by the Mahalo chef Jennifer,
Yeah.
who does a great job. And so you're there eating Kobe burgers, drinking some nice micro brews and some nice red wine. And what was that like? Just rubbing shoulders with those people.
Yeah,
These are people you've read about, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think what also was interesting was basically all the people that were there knew each other. So it was not a networking event in the sense that people were all new to each other, but everybody had a relationship to each other. And I met with some of the angels before also, and it was so it's a very friendly atmosphere, and where we could actually have an open conversation about, like, for example, Tiger Tag, and get honest feedback and some very good advice. And there were some great people that came and said, this is not something I would invest in. But hey, I have a great intro to this guy that you definitely need to talk to, or some other would say, yeah, this is very interesting, it's up our alley, and so on. So,
what do you expect to happen from this point forward? What impact do you think it will have?
So I think one is that it gave us a great deal of feedback about where we want to focus or where we should focus in executing this, as we are very, very early stage for our company. So there was a lot of feedback. And secondly, in following up on some of the conversations with the angels that expressed interest and really being able to dedicate much more time in what we're all about and how we're going to execute and what the money is being used for and whatnot and so on. So that's what I see like the next couple of weeks is actually very hands-on and going into the finer details.
And so you're looking to raise couple of $100,000, something to that effect?
Yeah, at this stage, right? We have developed our development's done, basically, and now we want to execute in the market, and that's where we will.
Great. So now I have Tiger Tag up on my screen. People who are at home can go to tigertag.com, TIGERTAGE.com, and you can go to Twitter, Tiger Tag.
Yes.
And so now give us the old elevator pitch. What is Tiger Tag?
So it's basically very simple in the sense that I'm not sure how many in the audience have already tried or have lost a phone, a PC, or any type of other valuable. But basically, the fact is, in the US alone, there's more than 12 million mobile phones getting lost every year. There's more than 2 million laptops, and there's 1 million digital cameras, and many other valuables.
Yeah.
And the whole circumstance is that we all have valuables, and they are orphans. They are all orphans until we actually assign an ownership to it. And until now, there's really not been a system to assign an ownership. Maybe a paid-for service, yes. There are already existing lost and found paid-for services. That's not the way we're going about it. What we are establishing is the world's first free global lost and found network.
Right.
It's a network of Good Samaritans.
Right.
It's a network that connects finders with owners. And we harness the power of goodwill.
So how does this work?
Basically, like this.
Mechanically, how does it work?
Mechanically, very, very simple, right? You get these tags.
So these are the tags.
A sheet of tags.
A sheet of tags. These are like property tags, like inventory tags at a company.
Exactly, and there's 10 tags on each sheet.
10 tags on each
right?
sheet.
And when you get them from our website, you can get up to 5 if you want.
Okay.
And basically what you do is then go on our website,
right?
And you register once, you sign in, and then you can start activating any type of device you have. And you can put it, either you can put the tag on itself, or if you want, where, for example, with the new Google Nexus 1, where Google offers free engraving.
You engraved it.
You just engrave the tag ID. You create that tag ID you get. It's unique. It's anonymous.
Ah, interesting.
And then basically...
And it says on the tag what?
Exactly. It says a unique ID and then return for reward. Go to tigertag.com.
Right. So if somebody finds this phone, go to TigerTag, type this code in, then what happens mechanically?
So basically the finder will basically enter that tag, and he will then get a point up saying, actually, this is the iPhone you found. Is that correct? Yes. Enter the name, enter email for the finder, and the owner will get an email from TigerTag saying, there's a finder for this.
Yeah.
Do you yourself want to get in contact with the finder, or do you want FedEx to bring it to you? Right? Often it will be, you know, your local bar, or in the restaurant you've been to, or maybe the taxi you just ridden with.
How much is the reward they get?
And reward is actually split in two. One is where you yourself as the owner can set a reward, a finder's fee. But also what we are then also throwing into the basket is a coupon for a purchase off of Amazon, for example, where you get discounts. We, of course, cannot offer cash, but that's what we can
as a good, if you offer cash, people go steal things and with tiger tags on them. So I find this phone, I put it on my BlackBerry, I type in the tag, it says, there's a reward for this. I say, great, I put in my email. It goes to, or Tyler finds it, the email comes to me saying, hey, somebody found your phone. I say, great. Tell them to email me. Boom, we get in touch with the other. Or I say, FedEx is going to come to pick it up, and then you're going to get a free gift card, or you're going to get PayPal or something.
Exactly, right.
And so do people return phones and, you know, if I lost my lightsaber, would they return
So
it?
the fact is that actually you have, with the TigerTag, you have 75% chance of getting your device back.
Right.
And
depending on where you live or where you are.
There might be some slight differences in percentage, but the fact is that people are actually good, and they want to do good. And we did a survey here in the US, and 97% of people said that of course they will return an item if they found it. And when I ask anyone that I speak about this, because everybody can relate to this issue, right? It's always, if I ask, do you think if you lost your phone in a taxi, would you get it back? And often someone would say, no, probably I wouldn't get it back, right? Somebody would just keep it, whatever. But then if I turn around, if you found a phone, would you return it? And you would most likely say yes, right? And so would the taxi driver. There was just a story, I think, 2 days ago with a taxi driver in New York who drove 60 miles to return a wallet with $2,000 to...
Wow.
So people just want to do good. And
I agree.
That's what we are all about. It's harnessing the power of goodwill.
Awesome. And so the way you make money is?
So right now it's a free service, right? And you can get these tags off our website. But of course, as we grow, what we want to do is offer various value-added services, such as a backup for your mobile phone, backup for your PC, or maybe insurance product on the side. And then also, where we have actually already now some great interest, is different partners, like device manufacturers or retailers or loyalty programs that actually want to offer this as a co-branded service together with us, where they then distribute this out to their clients.
It's a great idea. I loved it from the beginning. I think it's the type of thing that could catch on. I think this is something that would work really well in Japan.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's got international potential. I think the co-branding of the stickers with a brand, BlackBerry or Circuit City or anybody like that. Well, Circuit City's gone, isn't it?
Yep.
So not Circuit City. But we get the idea. Sony or Best Buy or whatever. These kind of things. It's going to work. I think you're onto something great. I wish you the best of luck with it. And I think the Angels there were interested. And so I think that you got a good chance. We'll stay in touch. You have my email, and we'll keep talking.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing it. And,
thank you for
keep us posted. Feel free to write a blog post about what the Open Angel Forum was like.
Yes.
This would be very helpful to me. We'll retweet it because me talking about, hey, it was a great event, and I am very happy with the result. More people came than I thought it would, and the company's really crushed it. Even beyond me talking about it, if the people who actually experienced it talk about it, that's going to be even better.
Yeah, but I think very much the setup you've done for the Open Angel Forum really serves as inspiration for other initiatives similar to this.
Sure.
Basically copy and paste this in Europe, for example.
Yeah, we're going to have London. We already have our London one, and so I guess you're from Denmark. So if we want to do Open Angel Forum in Denmark, I have a couple of friends over there.
Yes.
And maybe I'll talk to Thomas. You know my friend Thomas?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Yep.
But anyway, it's a pretty... From Reboot, Reboot.com.
Oh, yes.
Reboot, the conference.
Yes.
So
Mugdale, then. Thomas Mugdale, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Then I know him.
Old friend. I've been to Denmark twice, and we had the brown bread sandwiches at...
Warbird?
Yeah.
What's the name of the restaurant? With the brown bread sandwiches, the famous place.
Copenhagen's big. There's many restaurants.
No, it's the most famous restaurant in Copenhagen where they have the brown bread sandwiches that are open, where they're beautifully designed. What's it called?
Yeah.
Now you
Warbird.
challenge me.
Schmorbord?
Yeah.
I can't get
The
those.
brown,
O's,
the brown bread sandwiches that are open.
Yeah, exactly.
Incredible.
Yeah, exactly.
Tune on it and everything.
Well.
Okay, congratulations, and wish you best of luck, and let's stay in touch.
Thanks.
Awesome. What did you think of Tiger Tech? They did a good job?
They presenting last night did a really good job. The part that I liked, my favorite part last night was the Q&A part.
Right.
Because who knows how engaged the Angels are going to be in this, if it's a good idea.
They were
or not.
engaged.
Oh my God. Just incredible value, not only for the presenters, but even like somebody like Chris Sacca last night was like, wow, a lot of great conversations last night.
Yeah.
I think that's a real testament to, I think those guys get excited when they get all together and get to brainstorm on.
They did not want to leave.
Right. And then we got emails today, like you could have had one or two more.
Yeah, somebody said you could have done one or two more.
Yeah.
And, we can't do this program this week in startups, and certainly can't do a bonus episode like this without the sort of support of the sponsors. I really want to just take a moment and thank Bing. Bing. They're doing great, innovative stuff in search. Go check it out. Go do a video search for Open Angel Forum. Go do a picture search. Go do a product search. Check out their product search. They also do the Faircaster, where you can sort of take a look at fares. And I have somebody who's coming to LA who said the Bing thing told them the fares would be cheaper to wait before buying tickets, all this kind of stuff, and it actually worked. So they're really doing innovative stuff. Bing is like a startup inside of Microsoft, and they're running it as such. And we're good friends with them here at Mahalo. They send some good traffic to Mahalo how-to articles. And really great to have them as a sponsor on this week. In startups, especially a company that's been around so long, supporting other entrepreneurs, and DNA Mail, everybody loves DNA Mail. They do hosted and managed Microsoft Exchange and Google App Email, and this is like one of the few people that Google actually lets outsource Google Apps to, and they have a 99.9% uptime guarantee. If you're doing a startup company, you don't want to waste time having an IT department. WebSpy. This is the total log analysis solution. Lets you log all activities so you can see things, but you can't block. They're not sensors. They just want to educate you as to what's going on in your network. It's important for compliance. It's important also for people to just know what's going on and what they're doing. Analyze all the traffic levels, patterns, errors, and more. WebSpy is great. And PowerVPS. This is a sister company to DNA Mail, and they provide fully managed virtual private server hosting, great customer service at an amazing price, starting as low as $59 a month. Go ahead and try it. You cannot go wrong. Twist viewers get 25% off for the life of their plan. I would seriously, if you're going to have a server somewhere, go do this because you have 25% off for your life, and use the code TWIST this week in startups. go ahead and thank the sponsors, Bing, Ustream, DNA Mail, WebSpy, and PowerVPS. Ustream, of course, is where we host the show. Everybody loves Ustream. Ustream is getting better and better. Always the quality of the video. It seems like every maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks, the quality gets better. I don't know if it's their algorithm getting better or their bandwidth or whatever it is. The technology and the streaming is going incredibly well. And to have 250 people watching the show live is like having a live studio audience. I mean, it's only 1/100th of the people who eventually see the show, but it is really great to have that available. So thank you to them. Our next guest, Arun Gupta. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
You are the co-founder of WakeMate.
Yep.
You came and presented at the Open Angel Forum last night. What did you think of the event?
Amazing.
Yeah?
I mean, I was following the whole thing where you wrote the initial post about how it's ridiculous that entrepreneurs who are pitching angels for money have to pay to pitch them to get their money. And I thought it was a great idea that you were doing this, and really just lucky to be a part of it.
Great that you were following it from the beginning. You're a Y Combinator company.
Yep.
So Hacker News, you participated in that?
Yeah, discussion.
So I always participate in the Hacker News discussion, and it's pretty vibrant.
Yeah, definitely.
And you got a lot of coverage there. The whole
yeah, that's where I heard
brouhaha.
about it.
Yeah, and so you heard about it there. That's great. That always inspires me to actually participate there because it can be a little brutal. People get a little personal in those comments.
They do.
But,
I mean, I think everybody was really championing what you were doing, though.
that was one of the few cases in Hacker News where I was being championed.
Yeah.
No, I mean, listen, we mix it up so people can differ in opinion, but nobody would differ that startup companies and angel investors should be working together and supporting each other, not charging and these
Yeah,
parties. So,
definitely.
what was your expectation of last night, and how did it live up to that or not?
So we came in and we were excited to meet a bunch of great angels. We said Chris Sacca was there, a bunch of other people, and I mean, we were just excited to get in front of them, and if they were interested, great, and if not, just get some great feedback. And a lot of people were interested. They said this is a great thing. I mean, we're up front. We were saying this is how much we're raising, this is how much we've had so far, and we're looking to close out the round. People were like, yeah, I'm interested in participating, or I know this guy who's interested in the space. And really, just as an entrepreneur, really your job is to get in front of as many people as possible.
Right.
Right. So
So it was
amazing
efficient
way.
in that way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you guys stayed late. I noticed you guys were
Yeah,
the
we
last to
did.
leave. You were
We
hanging
actually,
out with all the different investors.
we
You got
met,
a lot of FaceTime.
We met the founder of Zio there,
Right.
which was great for us.
Yeah, competitor.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned them in the presentation. The guy's like, oh, by the way, I founded that company, and
Yeah, so
I'm
that
an
was
investor in
pretty,
these other companies. And so, do you have a follow-up with that person, or you have their...
We kept it short. I mean,
Okay.
it's we're pretty competitive with them.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was great to talk to him and get his perspective on what we were doing. He was really honest, great guy, Jeff Stiebel.
Yeah, that was fantastic. So tell me and tell the audience, what is WakeMate?
So WakeMate is a Bluetooth cell phone accessory.
You can just talk to me. And
All right.
You don't have to look at the camera. I do that sometimes just for effect as the
Gotcha.
host. But you know, like you ever see David Letterman? He sometimes looks at
Yeah.
the camera. But you can just talk to me.
So it's a Bluetooth cell phone accessory, and really the goal of the product is to help you sleep better in 2 ways. The first is it wakes you up at the right time in the morning within a 20-minute window, so you feel really refreshed and energized, ready to start your day. And the second is we do a whole host of analysis on your sleeping patterns over the course of the night. And from there, we let you improve the quality of your sleep so you can sustain that good feeling from the morning throughout the entire day. So really, we help you sleep less but feel better.
And here it is. It's $50, and you can pre-order it for $5 now. And how many pre-orders have you had?
Quite a few, actually. We didn't expect to get that many, but it's on the order of a few thousand.
A few thousand pre-orders.
Yeah.
And so that was a nice chip for you to have last night when you can say, hey, we've got a couple of thousand pre-orders.
Definitely.
We're going to make money doing this. And so you're going to raise a little bit of money to actually produce this first product. What is the big vision for the company?
So the company really is not a device company. It's not a hardware company. It's a data play. So we really want to be the Google Analytics for your personal data. So starting with sleep, moving into fitness, moving into diet, nutrition, stuff like that, we really want to open up our platform as well and allow people who want to develop applications for our wireless sensor. So since we have this wireless sensor that interacts with your mobile phone, we essentially make your smartphone a gateway for all your personal data that we can collect. So we're going to open up our API, allow people to develop applications for our platform, and really try to grow the company that way.
So I have the Weaving scale.
Right.
Been using it for a couple of days.
Great product.
I am putting my weight up at Jason's_scale. Leo Laporte is doing it as well. People are into it. It seems like there's a whole movement with Fitbit, which was at TechCrunch 2 years ago, to actually monitor all these things. This is a sort of a big opportunity. You're in a pretty smart space. Why did you start with something obscure like sleep as opposed to something obvious like working out pedometers and also weight?
Definitely, great question. The fitness space right now is really crowded. I mean, you have the Fitbit, you have the Nike Plus, you have the Body Bug. We really thought sleep was a great pain point that people hadn't really attacked. A lot of people hadn't attacked yet. So we thought, I mean, as you can see with the amount of pre-orders that we've gotten great traction. People are really resonating. People want to wake up in the morning feeling better. And then starting with sleep, we think we can really provide a lot of added value to people's sleeping patterns and people's sleep lives. So we think that starting with sleep, doing that right, and then from there moving into fitness is the way to go, rather than the other way around. It's easier to gain traction, I think, in the sleep market than it is to gain traction in the fitness market.
And so I wear this device. It's on my wrist. As I move around when I'm sleeping, you're recording that. You're developing a sort of framework for how I'm sleeping, and you give me a sleep score.
Yep.
So I get to look at a dashboard later and understand how I'm sleeping. Also, you mentioned it wakes you up. It vibrates.
Actually, it uses the phone's alarm.
Oh, it uses the phone's alarm.
Right.
So it's hooked up to my iPhone. The phone's alarm goes off. And it wakes me up at the peak point during that sleep cycle, because you go through many sleep cycles when you're asleep.
Exactly.
And this is how good your pitch was, as I can do it.
Yeah, you're very well versed.
And there are different moments during one of those sleep cycles where you can wake up and be less groggy, and it's the best time to wake up because you're in the lightest mode of sleep. How effective is it? Does it actually make a discernible difference that the rest of your day or the next hour is easier to get up?
Definitely. So the scientific term for it is actually sleep inertia, the grogginess that you experience, and it can affect people for up to 3 hours after they wake up. Actually.
Tyler,
Yeah.
he's still not awake. We're in the middle of show 2.
Some people are like,
yeah.
don't talk to me until I have my morning coffee, stuff like that. But really, it's a familiar feeling. So sometimes you wake up, and it doesn't really matter how much you've slept, but you feel great.
Yeah.
And sometimes you wake up,
and
you
that's
feel
the
like,
reason?
Yeah, and sometimes you wake up, you feel like you just went to bed. And it really has to do with the stage of sleep that you wake up in.
So if I'm rustling and I wake up at that point when I'm in light sleep, good.
Yeah.
If I'm in deep sleep and I wake up because of the alarm, bad.
Exactly.
So waking up naturally is
good.
better.
Yeah.
But this wakes you up naturally, optimally.
Exactly, yeah. So we're kind of hacking your sleep patterns, finding that right point.
Hacking the sleep patterns, great. Now, how can your product help me lose 10 pounds? I love your product. I love what you're doing. I'm very excited about it, and I want to keep in touch with you guys. I want to hear what goes on with all these angel investors. A lot of people told me you were one of their favorites last night, or if not the favorite.
Thank
so,
you.
A lot of great feedback, and do feel free to write a blog post about the experience so that other members of Y Combinator can see it. And we're going to bring it to Boston. So when we come, you're still in Boston, right? Or are you in the Valley now?
No, we're in San Francisco.
You left from there. And you basically are a Yale dropout, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I left after my junior year.
You left after your junior year. So you basically wasted 2 years you didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
What is the phone call like with your parents when you tell them you're dropping out?
I mean,
are you Indian or?
Yeah.
So
my
you're
parents
Indian.
are.
So your
I was
parents
born
want to
here.
kill you.
Yeah.
So bring us to that exact moment. Where were you? Mom and dad are. You did it in person, right?
No, I did it over the phone.
You did it over the phone.
Yeah.
So you're in your dorm room or something?
Yeah.
So you're in your dorm room and you call your mom or your dad?
Yeah. I call my dad.
You call your dad because
Yeah.
he's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
Your mom is going to kill you.
I gotta make sure. I gotta dip their toes in the water, so to speak.
So you say what?
So I say, "Hey, mom and dad, I had this crazy idea. You know that alarm clock thing I've been working on? Maybe I'll do that full time instead of school."
And
they
what?
said,
Silence?
Yeah, silence. Like I was like, didn't know what to expect, and they were just like, "Are you sure?" Like they were so unsure about the whole thing, like not excited about it. But really, I think what convinced them the most was that the job market at the time, last year, terrible. And there, I was
so
like,
they're thinking it's a disaster anyway.
exactly.
But this has got to be heartbreaking for your mom. That must have been the proudest day of her life when you got into Yale.
Yeah,
The Ivy League, and you throw it away. Your mom must be devastated.
She wasn't happy. I think now we've had some mild success. I mean, I told her we were invited to Jason Calacanis' Open Angel Forum. She was a lot
Pretty
happier.
Happy. Yeah, Yale Open Angel Forum.
Exactly.
I have a feeling you're being very gracious. But to your mom, you can play this tape. Bill Gates didn't go to college. He dropped out. Steve Jobs, all these guys. It's no big deal. He's so smart. Yale is not going to be able to contain him. In the worst case scenario, if he gets bored with being an entrepreneur, he'll go back to Yale and finish. If he can get in and do 2 or 3 years of Yale, he can finish it. He'll bring it home. But this is going to be a great entrepreneur. If he can do this when he's 21 years old,
Yep.
if he can get into Y Combinator and get this much traction, even if this company fails, he's going to have 10 more that are going to do excellent. You did a great job raising him. This is no reflection on you guys.
No, it is it's a positive
I mean,
reflection.
it's not a bad reflection on you that he quit school. He didn't quit school. He took on another opportunity that was better, and he can always go back there if he wants to. Arun, I wish you great success.
Thank you so
I am
much.
thrilled for you, and keep us up to date on what's going on.
I will.
We'll talk soon.
Great.
Good job. Okay. That's the point where you get up.
All right.
You can stay here forever. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. What did you think of WakeMade?
That was one of the funner moments of the evening when the angel in the audience, after they had finished their pitch,
very graciously
on
said,
the competitive landscape slide, specifically names, this company,
yep,
and how they're going to take their market share. And the gentleman in the audience says, just,
by the way, that's my company.
I founded that company.
Pretty funny. Great to hear these stories. Our next guest I know from the TechCrunch 50 conference. Some of you guys know him. Jason, is it Keisel or Kessel?
It's Kiesel.
It's Kiesel.
Like diesel.
Kiesel like diesel. Yeah. Jason Kiesel is here, the co-founder of City Sourced.
Yeah.
And so now this is 2 of my events that you've been at.
Yeah.
Always loved your company, and you're a great entrepreneur. So you were at TechCrunch 50. City Sourced got a lot of attention. You launched it in December with your first client. You guys are on the road raising money right now.
Yeah.
In the thick of it. You applied to the Open Angel Forum. You got accepted. We met
Thank you
a
for
week
that.
ago. Well, don't thank me. Thank Tyler again. And Tyler helped with the selection process. In truth, Tyler did the bulk of the work with me just polishing it off. What was your expectation going into last night?
Basically, my expectation was to get in front of some angels here in the local tech scene, LA tech scene. So, my reach only goes so far. My partner Kurt's reach only goes so far. So it, any FaceTime you can get with somebody totally helps.
Yeah.
And that was my expectation, was to at least get that face to face.
Couple of local angels.
Couple, handshakes. Get that first meet and say, kind of spark that interest. And that's.
So you get there last night. You pull up. What's it like? And how did it live up to that expectation of meeting a couple of local angels?
Oh, it was everything and more. First of all, when you pull up, Matt Coffin's home is incurable. So
nice place.
Gives you a nice little
incentive to work hard.
to
yes,
to put in those burn the midnight oil, so to speak. But I thought the process was great. You came in, you kind of told us what was going to happen, gave us a little powwow. You did the same to the angels, and then we got together, had a good dinner. The whole experience was just kind of top notch. So
very good. So tell us, what is the progress that City Source has made since you did that great demo? Because when you did that demo, I mean, let's be honest, it was duct tape. I mean, you guys were racing to get it done. You got it done. You had a very successful presentation there. People really loved what you did. What has been the actual? Now you're out of the TechCrunch 50 honeymoon. Pretty much. And now, boom, it's reality. We got to actually get a product delivered, and we've got to actually get clients. I know you're working with one of the districts in
San Jose.
In San Jose. How has that gone?
Oh, it's gone incredibly well. Actually, at TechCrunch, the iPhone app worked. The back-end console in which the cities manage those requests was not done. So that was a bit of the smoke and mirrors that we put up, kind of.
Like every entrepreneur does.
Exactly. You got to do what you got to do. So. Yeah. We worked with San Jose in developing the console. We had a little bit of trouble getting Apple to approve the product. It took them a little longer. A lot of people apparently have had.
A lot of people have been there.
Mark from Mahalo said it took 3 weeks to get your guys' app approved.
Yeah,
so it takes a while, and
Doesn't matter who you are.
We were expecting 7 to 10 days, which was what someone else had told me, and so kind of was a bit misled in the expectation there, but. So we dialed in our product. We wanted to get that console, pretty much working exactly how our customer wants it.
And this is the console where I can see after you shoot the pothole or the graffiti or the broken street lamp, I can actually, as the person working in the city department, see these are all the problems, check them off, route them, delete them, whatever, and then communicate back to the person who has submitted the pothole and say, hey, we got it. Or hey, we got it, we fixed it.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yes. And that's basically it. It's in a nutshell, it's a issue tracking system, much like when you're doing software development, you have bug tracking. That's what this is. They can mark the statuses.
Help desk.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like a help desk.
And they can add comments in, and the user will see those comments as they log into their phone and view the detail. So
what was the feedback like from the angels? They heard the pitch. everybody loves the idea when they hear it because everybody wants the product. You got a bunch of questions. People are really pounding on you. I mean, this was an intelligent audience. What was it like to take that sort of firepower?
Well, it threw me off my game, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I was up there. I was giving my deck pitch, and
Fast and Furious.
Somebody put in a question, and I wasn't through my deck yet, and I basically got sidetracked answering questions, and I didn't even get to finish my deck. So
who cares about the deck? People want to engage. If the person who's going to invest doesn't want to see the deck and they just want to ask questions, go with it.
Yeah, bring it on.
And you did. You did it well.
So, well, thank you.
Yeah.
That kind of threw me off a bit. I was kind of expecting more of a structured format, but that didn't happen. So, I went with the flow and I did the best I could, and we got 3 or 4 guys that came up and expressed interest. So we're following up with them. We've already sent out emails and
awesome.
Yeah. So and we're actually a third of the way through our round. So we've out of the money we're raising, we've done about a third. So
great. So now this gets the second third, and then maybe the first third and the second third can work together to get the last third.
Exactly.
Anything you changed about the event? Anything you didn't like, or anything you think would make it better? Curious?
No, I mean I enjoyed it pretty much as it was.
Maybe interesting way to ask it would be, what advice would you give to people who participate in future events?
Oh, the advice I'd give to somebody that's going to be doing it next would be to do your homework. Make sure you have your, when you're doing your deck pitch, keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it simple. 5 slides at the most. Kind of hit those basic business points. Competitive landscape, market, business model, etc. Spend your time doing the Q&A because that's where you engage those the angels, and that's where
if you don't, they're going to be just checking their BlackBerry.
Exactly. They're going to be tweeting out and all that stuff. So and to that point, I would also say that it's best to really go through and try to punch holes in your business plan because that's what they're going to do.
Yeah,
and,
you want to
try to have an
answer
answer for every possible conceivable question that they could ask you. So really dive deep on that. So
yeah, it's almost hard to anticipate the level of intelligence in the questions they're going to ask you, because
this was a pretty sophisticated group.
Yeah,
totally.
Well, we wish you continued success. It's been
Thank
great
you.
watching you guys over the 5 months or so since TechCrunch 50, and I think you guys are going to crush it.
We are. We've already got a second customer, by the way. So,
oh, great.
Yes.
Who's the second customer?
UC Davis.
Yeah, so now you've got a university using it for on-campus nonsense.
Yes. Well, on-campus maintenance is
right.
spring.
Well, that's what I mean by nonsense. Shenanigans, things are breaking.
I thought you meant more like, guys token up or something.
Yeah, no, yeah. But, I mean, I don't think that's the public nuisance they're thinking about.
No.
But, yeah.
But yeah, we're really excited. The sponsor, the champion of our product is the actually head of the National Association of Facilities Management Directors.
Great. So that's an in for you.
He's a great charter customer for us.
Awesome.
It almost seems like, you remember how Web 1.0, people would make references to brick and mortar things. They would say, we are the online version of
blank
Walmart, or they were referencing real world
we're
stuff.
Toys R Us online, eChoice.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It seems kind of strange to flip it back the other way around now, but it seems like this is the get satisfaction of real world stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, of course. There's a whole meetup.com is the Google Groups, the real world Google Groups.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it is a definitive trend that's going on is how to get the internet out to the real world, the augmented reality plus equals what? And the iPhone obviously being a big driver of it, and also obviously the Android phone. So Android application coming up, or
yes, both Android and BlackBerry.
Oh,
so
really? Why BlackBerry? It seems such a niche.
A lot of city workers at BlackBerries.
Oh, I see. So they got you got to have the
got to cater to our key market segment.
Got to know who's signing off on the purchase order.
Exactly.
Right. So you'll have like 8 people in there. Yeah. They'll have 8 people using the 99.
Well, they're the ones demoing the product, so they're like, is it BlackBerry? No. Oh, well, I can't really demo it. So we need to have that.
A little bit of a problem. Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you again.
Great success. Do a blog post on it or something.
For sure.
If you want to, and well done.
Thank you very much.
Okay. We'll
Take care.
I think all in all, it went very well.
Yeah.
We had a good group.
Yep.
It wasn't perfect, but
Right.
we'll do, let's see, we'll do Colorado in February, and then in March we will do San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And in April we'll do New York and the Valley, and maybe after that, May we'll do London and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you're hoping we do Tokyo.
I was just you reading my mind.
We haven't been in a while. It is about time, isn't it? When was we there? September?
April's the time to go.
Maybe we have to go do it in April. Well, one of our Tokyo contacts, please get in touch, and we need some angel investors in Tokyo. But I mean, over there, it's a very small angel investor community.
It's not as small as necessarily like some U.S. cities.
We're going to need to find the definitive angels over there. And
Yeah,
figure out
they're
how
there.
to do business there.
They're there.
I don't know anything about how business operates there.
Plenty of startups over there.
Yeah, but they get funded weird.
It is a slightly different model.
We would
but-
be fighting against two things there. We'd be fighting against, getting an event like this started, which is hard enough. But, well, it's not that hard. But it would be all the work of getting the event started. But then there is the way they do investing over there where it's like you're taking a loan almost, and the terms are pretty rough. We'd have to be working on the basic terms that people get. Because they have to make personal guarantees and stuff like that. It's all sort of...
Yeah, you get the geopolitics, which is actually really interesting, relevant to the last show we did with Brad Feld here, where, what country caters to doing entrepreneur activities.
Well, when we first announced this, we had London immediately.
Right.
So which will be the second city that steps up? Will it be Tokyo? Will it be Seoul? Will it be Sydney? We're open to it. So
Right. Oh, definitely could be Sydney.
Sydney's
we
definitely
want to
got
get
it.
back. We can take another photo on that bridge.
Absolutely, we'll take another photo on the bridge. Hello, we're on the bridge. So, great job, by the way. You did a really good job. I mean, truth be told, you did about 80% of the work of this, and I did the hosting, but really well done. Very proud of you.
Yeah, it was very fulfilling to see. I mean,
It is very fulfilling, I have to say.
It really is.
We haven't made a business out of this,
Right.
but gosh, it really feels good to do.
Yeah. From
Yeah.
from both sides.
Both sides.
It was
Angels
win,
are
win,
loving
win.
us.
Yeah.
I mean, we sold 3 tickets to the event, one of which I returned the guy's money.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't ready to attend the event.
I think that was a really interesting moment, and it
Right.
really goes to show that this really isn't about the money,
It is not.
because you're willing to. Somebody had paid for a ticket as
Somebody
a
paid
service provider,
$1,500
and you're like, you know what? I don't think you're a perfect fit for this.
Right, because they complained a bunch.
Whatever.
Yeah.
For whatever reason,
Yeah.
you don't seem like the caliber or profile of person we want at this
we don't
event.
want somebody there that we're putting them out to come,
Right.
and that they have conditions under which they're going to buy the ticket or whatever.
Right.
The tickets were put there just as a way to possibly underwrite the event.
Right. But
I
it
was going to underwrite it personally.
Did not want to jeopardize,
That's
all
exactly
the
what I thought.
goodwill that was going in there.
One person can ruin a party.
Right.
That's all it takes. Does you ever go to a party or a dinner party, and then one person drinks too much at the dinner party, and they start telling inappropriate jokes, and then the 2 or 3 people who are the cool people at the party are like, you know what, let's go sit in the backyard. Then that person comes out to the backyard, and they're still telling stupid jokes, and then they think, you know what, let's say we're out.
Right.
And the party's over.
Right.
One bad person kills a party.
Yeah.
You can't have them there.
Right.
So
not worth the $1,500, whatever.
Yeah, so I told the guy to take his 15. I didn't even tell him. I just said, your 1,500 has been returned. It's not the right event for you. The other 2 people were 2 law firms. They each paid $1,500 to bring one person to the event, which seems like an extraordinary amount of money. But the truth be told, for a law firm, if they get one client out of it in the next 3 years, that client's going to be worth $50,000, $30,000, or $100,000. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Although it does seem like a lot of money to pay for a couple of hours.
I think they would say it was money very well spent.
The event probably cost $1,000 to put on. We had to have a valet. We had to have a Mahalo chef come, and we had to pay for the burgers and that kind of stuff, beers and wine. So $2,000 profit for the event, which, considering the amount of time we put into it, would not even come close to paying for that. But if we do this in the other cities,
But the goodwill way more than
the goodwill way.
Yeah.
And so we don't have a business model yet, but a couple of ideas have emerged for a business model. And
you get that many smart people together, a business model.
A couple of possible business
emerge,
models. Number one, after we have the initial group of 15 angels in a city, 20 angels in the city, we don't want to have any more because it gets too big. Every angel after that point, $5,000 to join the group.
Oh, I have no doubt that. I mean, you saw the number of people that want to apply to the first one.
Yeah, so that's what I think we'll do. It'd be for an angel to join, it'd be $5,000 a year to come to 4 events, and that's just after we have 20 people on the roster. So that's one business model.
Yep.
So we still have our core group, but you want to be number 21, you got in too late, that's fine. The second possibility is a law firm taking a national sponsorship where they sponsor all the cities and they can bring one person to it, or a technology company. So we could have one technology company, one one technology company, one law firm, one search company, like a headhunter,
Yeah.
maybe one accounting firm, Ernst & Young type, and maybe one investment bank. If we did 5 of those at $50,000 each, that would be $250,000. That'd be enough to hire 2 people full-time to work for the event and maybe get it going, where we have 2 people screening the deals, which is really where the work comes in. But it's kind of fun to screen the deals.
It's incredibly educational.
I feel like we're getting very smart by doing this.
Yeah.
So in some ways, other people would pay
Yeah.
to sit there and have these great entrepreneurs, intelligent people pitch you, which is the experience we have at TechCrunch 50 after 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of leveraging the success of TC50
Yeah.
and knowing what works in that environment. So.
you definitely know that you want to have somebody who fills out the form completely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like that's the big lesson for me from TechCrunch 50. If you cannot fill out a good application, you're probably not going to do a good job getting on stage. If you cannot do a video that is quality, and turn on your video record and have decent light and know enough to say like, oh my God, the lighting, I look like I look like I'm a deranged,
Right.
Murderer. When I do my video in my basement, right. I should do this outside or at a Starbucks or somewhere where there's bright lights and
right.
put a light on my face so I don't look like a criminal. Like if you're not smart enough to do that, you're probably not smart enough to pull off whatever it is you're pitching.
Right.
You got to be able to.
It shows the amount of care that you have in
It shows the amount of
product.
care. So I think that's a big tip for people is if you're going to do this kind of thing, details matter. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing well. Whether that's ironing a shirt, making the video, pouring a drink, anything that's worth doing well, anything that's worth doing is worth doing well. Do everything you do as an entrepreneur well. Whether it's pouring an iced tea, sending an email, do it well. There's no excuse. And I think you saw on those applications a lot of care. I was very impressed. In some ways, I feel bad for the other 15 companies that were not as good, but in the same league.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit of negative feedback on we picked people without regard for geographic region. It's the first time.
My thought on that is, as the other chapters fill out, that'll self-correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We picked the best people, but it'll be a little bit more, regional
right.
after this. So thanks again, Tyler, for all the help on the event.
My pleasure.
Thanks to Matt Coffin for hosting the event. Thanks to all the angel investors who came. And of course, thanks to Bing, DNA Mail, WebSpy, PowerVPS, and Ustream. Just on a inside baseball note, we've had the honor and privilege of working the last 7-8 months with Alex Miller, a fine young gentleman who has worked very hard for me and for our organization. It was an honor to work with you. You're a pleasure, and we wish you great success in your journey in New York, my hometown. You have a permanent get-out-of-jail-free card with Uncle Jason. Anything you need, you call me immediately, and we'll look forward to working with you in the future. Congratulations to Alex on his job in New York, and we're going to miss you, buddy. We're done.
Spiked out, I could trip a referee. Tell by my attitude that I most definitely from.